Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday.
I'm on.
Okay.
I see stuffing. Yay, somebody's ready to go. Woo, I have my bag. That's awesome. I forgot my samples at school because we're working on the project at school right now. So I don't even have my samples to show.
Oh, how's it going with the
Well,
project? It's
I'm gonna go over with everybody, but I started teaching the stitches slowly because I also am waiting for I ordered tablecloths for school to protect the tables, and I thought I had aprons, which I did not have, so I had to order aprons. I'm kind of stalling by teaching the stitches in the meantime. But I had an idea last minute that I wanted to try. Oh, there's Mom with our sample. Hi, Mom.
Hello.
I was just saying I left all of my samples at school because we're
I
doing a
heard
project.
you, and that's why I got this.
Oh my God, I feel like such a ding dong. Hey, Mario.
Hi, I can't stay. I just wanted to pop in and say thank you. Thank you for doing such great work.
Oh, thanks.
And this is such an exciting one, and also the other one with the Mad Museum. I check them out on the YouTube channel. You guys are doing a great job. Enjoy your time.
That was
And
awesome.
I think a
and
few more
I can't wait.
contacted me.
Yes, she agreed to do a session for us, Deb Rappaport, who I
Great.
was with so she's gonna do that toward the end of March. So we have a March booking, and we also have a session.
Great. And how you feeling, Roberta? Are you all back on shape, Roberta? You're in good shape?
Almost back to normal. The last few
Good.
days, I feel like me again.
All right.
And my
Well,
blood pressure is doing well. I saw the cardiologist today.
God
130
bless.
something over 70 something.
Perfect.
That's good. All right. Well, I just want to tell people and remind people, we have the student exhibit. If you're working and you want to exhibit 10 pieces of your student work, the deadline is coming in April, so there's still plenty of time. Just go on our website, and we're doing a tour of the Frick Museum in May. Our year-end meeting will be in the Frick Museum.
Nice.
So that's all on our website. I'll keep updating it, and enjoy tonight. Who's leading the workshop?
Me.
Oh, you're doing it. Okay, then it's going to be great. All right. Well, then, fantastic. Just wanted to say hello. I'm going to go now, and
All right.
I'll
so
see you all
at
around.
the-
Thanks,
I'll see you at
everybody.
the Board
Bye.
meeting next week, right?
All right, guys.
February 15th.
Okay. So I'll
Yeah.
see you then.
Okay. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Okay, that was
How do I
Mario.
leave?
He's my.
Trying to leave.
Oh, you're still there.
I'm still here.
Still
I'm trying
there.
to figure out how to leave. Stop video. Oh, leave. There it is.
Oh, just
Okay,
say
bye now.
Bye. That's the boss. He's the one I report to. So I went in to send everybody reminders this morning, and it said we had 13 registered, not 13, I'm sorry, 68 people registered,
Wow.
which was really cool. And people have been messaging me for the pattern, which is great. Some people want to make their own, and that's fine. Let's see. who else?
Steph, you look really settled behind you. Your cabinet's all nice.
That was kind of like the first thing I unpacked, oddly enough. Yeah, the china cabinet is good to go. Everything else is not so not so settled. My studio is a disaster, which is why I'm not in there. I cannot seem to decide where I want everything to go so that there's a natural flow of things. For those of you who don't know, I just moved over Christmas break. And everything is topsy-turvy. I can't decide where I want things, and I walk into my studio and I get overwhelmed, and I'm like, forget it. I'll just do it on the dining room table.
You should
You
show
know.
the living room because it looks so pretty.
Show the living room.
Yeah, the colors, it looks so nice.
I don't know if you can see anything.
You could see the blue.
What?
You could see the blue.
You can see the blue. I had it painted before I moved in, which makes me feel like a grown-up for the first time, which is really nice.
Wait a second, I'm here 5 years and I haven't painted, so what am I?
No comment, Mom. You are undecided. That's what you are, undecided. That's all. So yeah, I'm hoping maybe over February break that I will be able to get my studio in order and feel a little bit more settled. But this project, I cannot believe how cool it is and the popularity and the number of people that are just joining us. It must be a calm week or the project is that exciting because we haven't had this many people in a really long time.
Steph, I just messaged you for the pattern. How do you send it?
Oh, how did you message me?
On the chat.
Didn't get anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. It said it went direct to you.
Who's
Steph?
talking? Who's talking?
Kathleen.
Oh, hi.
Kathleen
Hi.
McQueen. Hi. Are you Steph? S-T-E-F-F?
Usually
you?
every day, yes. Maybe it's just taking a minute.
Maybe.
I got Carolyn's earlier.
What do you want, my email?
Hold on, let me see if it went somewhere else. Yeah, you can send me your email if you want.
How do you get it? Or sent? I don't know. I've just sent it again.
Okay, let's see. Well, how about
The old fashioned way.
yeah, right?
Paper and a pencil.
Oh my gosh. Why is it that when I have to do something immediately, my brain short circuits?
Yeah, mine does too.
Okay, give me your Facebook ID, if you don't mind doing that in front of everybody.
It's Kathleen McWilliams. I don't know.
Kathleen
MCW ILLIAMS.
McWilliams. Is your picture outside?
I think so.
Available?
I have to go look.
You have short.
I think
red
it is.
hair?
I think it is. Yeah.
On a couch, on a printed chair or something by a Christmas tree?
Nope.
That's not you.
Is it Kathleen with a K too?
Oh, okay, hold on. Yeah, I got
You
you.
have this
Oh,
it's
there you are.
white hair. I think I'm
White
wearing a
hair. Yep, there you are.
pink shirt.
Gotcha. Okay,
think.
so
That's funny. You don't even remember what you look like on Facebook. I don't know.
I will do this. I will get it. Here we go.
Then I'll have your thing.
Okay, let me know if you got it. I just sent it to you.
Oh, there we go.
Got it?
All right.
Okay.
Okay. I think
Good?
I got it. Yeah.
All right.
Tap on it.
Excellent. All right. So,
Woo! Look at that.
if you
Nice.
just print it out to fit, a regular printer, 'cause my
Right.
pattern is about 8 inches tall.
Ah,
I
big.
traced it and then I photographed it. So if you print it to fit an 8.5 by 11 page, it'll be fine. Yep. There
Ooh,
you go.
good. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Okay, so I'm going to give a little backstory, and I I don't remember the woman's name, but I belong to Slow Stitch, which is a Facebook group. And I love handwork. I love hand stitching, and I'm getting into more and more embroidery stuff as well. And she posted these dolls. She called them voodoo dolls, that she makes and sells. And I think she was in Australia, if I'm not mistaken, or across the pond somewhere. And she had all of these wacky labels on the dolls. One of them said my period, and one of them said idiots, and one of them said, I mean, they were hilarious. So if you could, and I just saw these and I said, these are fantastic. And the buzz terminology for this school year, and at least in New York City, is SEL, which is social and emotional learning, right?
It's everywhere.
I don't know if that's all across the country or what. But I was thinking, how fantastic would that be to do these and have the kids label the doll with something that they struggle with on a daily basis. So the thing is, though, that I kept thinking, well, because I have a lot of mixed population. And I was thinking, I can't call them voodoo dolls because it might scare the crap out of some kids. It might go down not well with parent, whatever it was. And so I decided to call them stress dolls. And then I presented them to the kids this week in class, and I tried to give them the origin of where the idea came from. And as soon as I said voodoo dolls, they were all like, oh my God, no, 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 somebody's gonna, stick pins in me. And I'm like, no, we're not calling them voodoo dolls. And no. So they're like, come up with another name. I said, well, how about stress dolls? And they're like, and then I said, how about emotional support dolls? Like, emotional support animals. Here's your emotional support. Call it whatever you want, that whatever makes you happy. This is what we're doing. And I had them make a list of things that stress them out. Right? Tell me, I had them fill out a form. First, I started the day with, tell me how you're feeling today. This is the first day back for our new spring semester at high school level. And I had them write out, tell me how you're feeling today. And then I said, now tell me something that stresses you out or drives you absolutely bonkers. And they wrote out whatever it was. And then I said, now take the core, or try to determine the core of the thing that bothers you about what you wrote, and put it into one single word. See if you could figure out one single word that means what you just wrote to me. And if you can't do it, I said, use Google and ask Google, what's one word that means blah, 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 whatever it was. And then I asked them to write down 5 more words of things that stress them out. And they're like, I can't think of anything. I'm like, wow, you must have a really fabulous life if you have nothing else that stresses you out. And then I had them think about, okay, what do you do to self-soothe or calm yourself down? And then they wrote that out, and I'm still reading a lot of the responses, and some of them are very eye-opening. I had a couple of kids who their responses concerned me, and I referred the names to our school social worker to have conversations with them. But it's really, what the biggest surprise for me was, one of the biggest stressors that was mentioned that makes these kids stress out is thinking. Literally, so many of them wrote thinking stresses them out. And I was shocked. And I was sitting there like, I don't even understand how that's stressful to have them think. Like when you ask them to, like, critical thinking, explain your thinking, or go beyond what is handed to you on a spoon or on the board. Think for yourself. Don't just write down the first thing that you think of. And they're like, thinking is stressful to them. And I don't even know where to go with that. It was very, very surprising in general. I'm still trying to work through that and figure out why. Maybe because they had 2 years off from thinking, or they think they had 2 years off from thinking because of COVID, and they forgot how to do it, and they don't know how to do it anymore. They're used to being handed stuff just for showing up instead of actually engaging and participating. But all of it was very enlightening in terms of their general state of mind.
Thinking
No.
is active.
Anywho, what was that?
I said thinking is active. Watching a screen is passive, and that's a lot of what they might have been doing.
I've
have to
never
really-
considered thinking active because I can't turn it off. But
It's
that,
active brain work. I mean, they have to participate instead of just sitting back and watching screens.
yeah, that's true. So anyhow, they got excited. They got excited about this project, as long as I call it something other than voodoo dolls, which I kind of knew was going to happen. So I decided, I made the samples that you saw on my flyer. And Mom and I had a sample making party also over the weekend. We had a lot of fun. And then I thought, well, I don't have enough cool kind of fabric or money to buy more fabric for the kids, but I have tons and tons of muslin. So I decided I'm going to have them make their own fabric, design their own fabric. And I started on Tuesday, watering down acrylic paint almost to a watercolor consistency and putting them in squirt bottles, like ketchup bottles that you would find. And I tried a few samples at school, just squirting different colors on the muslin. I tried it dry. And some of them, the watercolor sat on the surface of the fabric, so I needed to use a brush to get it to sink in. Then I tried wetting the fabric first and wringing it out, so it was all crinkly kind of, and then drizzling the paint or squirting the paint on that. And then I also tried a tie-dye method with the acrylic paint, like, rubber banding all these little bunches so that you got those little circles. And I didn't take any pictures, and I'm sorry. But I figured, let them have fun making their own fabric. They'll get an understanding of kind of what goes into doing that kind of thing and the different methods of doing it. And each one had a different result. And then once they finish that, then they will take their handy dandy pattern and trace it onto the fabric that they made. And it's much cheaper than going out and buying all new fabric. So that's where I'm at. If you have the pattern, what I started doing is I found some fabric here at home. I'm going to trace the pattern on the back of the fabric, and you have to trace one way and then flip it over and do the reverse image, so you have a reverse for both sides. So you flip and do a mirror image. So I am going to switch my camera so you guys can see what I'm.
Hold on a second.
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
think you have to trace two. Trace one, but have the fabric doubled, pinned together, so
Well, that's a
be cut out.
possibility too.
they'll come out more alike if you cut them out together that way, I think.
Well, whatever you do or however you do it, you need to have two that are back to back or face to face. Is anybody, how many of you guys are actual sewers or fabric working people? So you understand what when you're doing a front and a back, you need to have the mirror image of the thing. So I'm going to trace one side with my very fine Sharpie because that's easier to see. And I'm going to flip it over and do it again on the other side. Real quick. I don't know if you guys are working along with me or not. So this week, as I mentioned earlier, I'm starting the kids with the stitch tutorials, and having them do practice first by doing 3 lines of each stitch. I usually teach the running stitch, which is the one that looks like a dotted line. The back stitch, which is the one that I use to sew the pieces together. It's very secure. And the whip stitch as well. And depending on the uses, the whip stitch can also kind of be like an applique stitch as well, depending on where it's being used. And then I have them from that little sampler that I have them do. They sew that together and stuff it and make a pin cushion for themselves out of that, so that even the practice sheet becomes something useful, so nothing is wasted. Because they're going to need pins to hold this together while they're sewing.
And then pins to stick in it.
Yeah, well, I didn't think of that. I'm not going to encourage the pin sticking at all, or the pin keeping. I'm not even going to mention any of that. Maybe they'll forget about that part of it. I don't know.
Do you think that these could be sewn with a blanket stitch too?
No, I don't know. That might be too easy for the stuffing to come out. I tried also sewing it 2 ways. One where you sew it inside out and then turn it so that the seams are inside. And then I also did it a different way to try it out. And that was one of my samples where I sewed it right side out with the running stitch for kids who might have more, what's the word I'm looking for? They might have difficulties managing their hands and controlling the needle and thread. So if you do it right side out with the running stitch around instead of the back stitch inside out, they might find it easier to do. It's just an option so that there's quote unquote differentiation, so that everybody can have a measure of success with this. So once I have traced this, and the outline is very hard to see because I used a very thin marker, what you want to do is cut out an extra, don't cut on the line that you traced, cut 1/4 of an inch extra all the way around so you have seam allowance, because you're not going to sew on that tracing line that you made. I mean, you are going to sew on the tracing line, so you need a little bit of extra fabric around the outside. So actually, if this is my, and I should have used a thicker marker here. This is my tracing line right here. What?
Look.
Look what? Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're cutting out an extra 1/4 inch all the way around your tracing line so that you have extra seam allowance. So we're going to just cut now. I'm going to cut out both of my pieces. And then you get to decide if you want to sew it right side out or inside out. And I also discovered while practicing, this is why it's really good to make different versions when you're doing, if time allows, when you're doing project samples. It made a lot more sense to decorate it before you put it together. Because for the kids, for me, it was hard. So and even for my mom, it was hard to do the mouth and the face and the label once it's already sewn together and stuffed. It's just too difficult. So I would
The hardest thing was sewing the eye on.
Excuse me?
The hardest thing was getting the eye sewed on after the head was sewed together, except at the top.
Well, the mouth you had trouble with also.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
right.
So it's
Yeah.
easier to do all the decorating as a single piece of fabric before we put the whole thing together. But again, it's, it's up to you. It's however you know your kids best, what will work best for them. I'm just trying to think of ways that everybody can be successful so that, you know, they don't feel like they can't do it. I mean, they already say I can't do it quick enough. I don't want to give them more reasons to say I can't do it, so. I don't know about you guys, but there are so many kids, including boys in my school this year, who are walking around with stuffed animals. Are you guys seeing the same thing in your school?
Yes.
Wow. So maybe it is like an emotional support thing that's a comfort, something they can squish, you know, when they get stressed out, or I find it very interesting. And it's a lot of the Japanese style stuffed animals, like the Pusheen, and somebody today had a giant boba tea stuffed thingy. Like it's food things that are made into, that are personified as critters. I don't know. It was very interesting. Okay, so I'm cutting my seam allowance. And of course, we also realized the bigger the button for the eye, the better. And the more contrast the button has to the fabric, also the better. So I had to go through all my button stashes.
Would you believe I cut out 6 more ready to sew?
6 more dolls?
Yes.
You're addicted. Do you have that many things you want to stab needles into? Or are you going to give them away as gifts?
You know, when I showed this one to my knitting ladies group on Monday, they
Yeah.
all wanted it.
They wanted
matter
it,
of
or
fact-
they wanted to make them?
They wanted, Lorraine took mine and she hid it for a few
that's
minutes. She
funny.
said she was going to keep it. I said, I'll teach you how to do it. So maybe I can have my little art group again in the spring, sitting outside and having fun making these things.
Sure.
But they went wild over it. And you know, not just, oh, that's nice, but
Mhm.
oh, I love it, that kind of thing.
Well, that's what's happening all over social media. I'm seeing these everywhere in lots of different, you know, varieties and ideations of it. So a lot of people must want to stick pins in things.
It's funny how something is catch on, like that neurographic drawing that we did.
Yeah, this is at that level where everybody's jumping on it.
Yeah,
This is very cool. Very cool. And it's fun.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I also got to educate the kids because I did a little bit of research on voodoo dolls, and the origins are not in evil. It turns out it's just a spiritual totem, just like a, you know, Catholic cross or Jewish star. The evil connotations were created by Western civilizations and turned into like horror movies and all of that stuff, but that's not what the origins of a voodoo doll are.
I remember when I was teaching in Westbury, we had, he was a college professor and his specialty was voodoo in general. He was a Black man from Haiti, and I forget which college he was on the staff of, but he came and he gave our teachers a lecture on voodoo. It was really interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's not what is in movies or books. It's you know, in novels and things. It's completely different than what the general understanding is.
Well, that's sort of typical, I guess.
Yes.
Anyway, the one I'm sewing now is denim.
I have a lot of cut up old jeans that I was thinking of doing that with too. The fabric I ended up making myself looks like denim. I think the middle one,
Mhm.
it's the middle one in the photo that I posted.
Right.
Okay, so here is one side of my fabric and here's the other, and I didn't iron it and it doesn't really matter because it's not going to be worn. So I found a bright yellow button that I'm going to use for the eye. And I found this chenille, I think, bright yellow yarn, which I'm going to use for the mouth and the other eye. So that goes with that. And I'm going to use it for the hair as well. So at this point, once you get your pattern cut, you know, it's all about how creative you want to be. When I was with Mom, I decided to add patches onto it because like if it had been stuck with needles, it would have boo-boos. So I put, you know, a few patches on it. You could see that in the pictures that I posted as well. And we just have to pick, I have to pick my word. There were just so many. Oh, that's the other thing. Mom and I ended up making a list of like 2 whole pages of perfect words that we could put on our dolls. And I found one of my pink, it's called a pinking shear, I think. Pinking
Yeah.
shears that cuts
Yeah.
the zigzag. And I like that border around the edge that makes it look like a really cool little label on it. So I have that
I
as
couldn't
well.
find mine. I have to get a new one.
Okay.
Can
And-
you share some of the perfect words that you
oh my
came up with?
gosh. Yeah.
You have the list?
I have the list. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to send the picture to myself. I took a picture of the list of words. I'm going to email it to myself and then I'll share my screen and post the list. Okay. A lot of the words on the list, many of my students just don't know the definition of those words, and I had to review with them what they were.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because you know, they're not in their general vernacular.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so let's see if it goes to my email.
I have an anecdote.
I have an
I was
anecdote.
teaching junior high school. I had a class of my own, and every morning I would put a vocabulary word on the board for them.
Mhm.
And one kid complained one day. He says, why are you giving us words to learn? You're only an art teacher.
Oh my God.
And I got on my soapbox, but good.
Only
will
an
never-
art teacher.
Only an art teacher. I will never forget that. Wow.
Well, we are not only anything.
Exactly. I said that too.
Okay, so let's see if I can screen share. Share my screen. Okay. Share. And I'm gonna open up list. Okay. Can you guys see my list?
I see a file that I think you need to open.
Okay, so you don't see what I have up. Okay, let me figure out how to do this. Why is it not?
Maybe you're paused on the upper right corner. It says paused. I don't know what that means.
Don't think I'm paused. I'm screen sharing.
You see it over there? Paused? I don't know.
It's
I
a,
don't know.
I'm recording, so that's limiting my movements a little bit. Hang on a second.
Oh,
Let me
okay.
see. Downloads. Is it showing up now at all? No.
Steph, we see your AOL mail. We see like your inbox and that's what we're seeing.
Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Stop sharing. Let me try something else. Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So that's the list that Mom and I came up
Oh.
with.
Wow, it's in cursive. I don't even think my students would be able to read that.
No, well, that's just the list Mom made. I wasn't giving that out to the kids. I was just reading the words that we came up with. I don't know if
Isn't
you're
that
picking up.
sad that nobody can read cursive?
Yes,
That's another thing.
yes,
Yes.
that's a whole other thing. They're limited in so many ways that it's just, it boggles my mind. You have to, you like take a step back and figure out how to move forward and present what we need to present, because the handwriting, the vocabulary, it's just lots of different things.
Maybe you have to teach them calligraphy.
I tried that
No.
once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just I don't know. It was okay. Not everybody was interested.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you guys want to do take a screenshot of the list so you guys have it. And then I'll take it off. I'm sure you guys have your list also. You can come up with a list. And
Thanks
I
for
was going,
sharing that.
what was that?
Thank you.
You're
Thanks for
welcome.
sharing your list.
No
Thank you.
problem. It was fun making the list. We're like, we had a couple of words that we kept saying over and over. We forgot we had written them down over and over again. So they came up several times. Anyway, so I wrote, I'm going to stop sharing. If you want the list, email me and I can send you the picture of the list. So I wrote, and I'm sure you could see it in the photo from the flyer, I wrote the word in marker on my little label, and then I backstitched the letters myself by hand. The kids can always do it just in Sharpie if that becomes too much for them also. You know, you have to be able to know the kids and let them find a workaround, or find a workaround for the ones that need a little simplification or whatever it is. So, and that's the gist of it. Does anyone have any questions while we're playing?
Talk about the hair.
Who said that? Talk about the hair.
Your mom. I
Want
said
to
it.
talk about- Well, the hair is just, you know, however you want to do the hair. I tried it 3 different ways. I braided yarn and then attached the braids to the top of the head. By the way, when I sew them together, I start at the top of the head, the edge of the top, and then I go around the whole body and leave the top of the head open for stuffing, because it's the straightest, easiest place and the biggest area to turn it inside out if that's what you end up wanting to do. And then you can cover the seam with the hair, so it's nice and hidden. So I attached,
Turning it inside out is not easy either.
yeah, you need like a chopstick or a pencil or something to help you poke stuff through without poking holes and everything. And what other tips and tricks can I tell you? Oh, the hair is just, it's fun. However you want to add the hair. You can make, you know, ponytails or a pom-pom, or I think I made one that has a ponytail sticking straight up in the air.
So how exactly are you sewing the hair? I'm not a very good,
How to sew it to the head?
yeah.
I was doing it with the whip stitch. If you know how to do the whip stitch, that's very easy.
What
If
is it grabbing around in the hair?
whip
Like, I
stitch
guess,
is just a loop. So you're
yeah.
looping around the hair and into the doll once it's already stuffed and put together through the seam at the top of the head. If I can get to do that, I can show it to you. If it becomes an issue, you could always hot glue it, you know, to the top of the head also. Hot glue works like a charm. Oh my God, do you know what I discovered this week? I was at a professional development at the Museum of Arts and Design, the place we happen to just have our the last session at, by the way, virtual. And I was doing a workshop and they put out cordless hot glue guns. Oh my God, you have one too. I was like,
Oh my God.
when were these invented? And where
I got
did
one
they
for my
come from?
birthday. I think about 5 years ago, maybe.
But they were tiny little ones. They weren't as big as that heavy duty
Oh,
guy, which is
This one's
gorgeous.
industrial.
Oh my God. But these were little tiny orange ones, like literally this big. And they put one on every table. And there's no cords, there's no plugs, there's no extension. Like, I dread doing hot glue because I have to run a million extension cords around my room. And here we are with cordless hot glue guns. I almost died and went to heaven. It's the silliest, you know, it's the simple things that make me get so excited because it's a game changer in the classroom. You just have to remember to charge them, you know, and keep them charged and have enough of a rotation going so that nobody, you know, does without. But I couldn't believe it. It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. See, that's why all these workshops are important, because you don't just get to have fun stuff, but you learn about all the new goodies that are out in the world that make our lives so much easier.
I've seen them selling those cordless glue guns at Sam's Club, you know,
Really?
and I think you can charge them with USB ports,
Yes.
not
USB.
these giant ones, but they're smaller. Probably
Yeah,
like the ones that.
they would have to be like little cheapo ones, like, you know.
Yeah,
$10
well,
each or
maybe they're
something.
safer. This one's not so safe. I mean,
Yeah,
this
that
gets
looks
really
like
hot.
a little dangerous. I mean, I would get excited
Yeah.
with that. That's just
Me
me.
too. That will
love-
melt your skin off, but it works.
Yes, absolutely. I get excited about all power tools and you know, cool stuff like that. It's just
Me too.
fantastic. I love Home Depot. Who loves Home Depot? Oh my God. It's like a playground, different kind of playground. I love it.
I have never used a glue gun.
Yeah, you gave me all of yours, which are in perfect condition.
I know, I really should learn. You have to teach me.
Oh my God, it's not a big deal. It's just glue that you squirt and it's hot and it melts and it dries instantly practically. It's
You're
the
gonna
best.
love it when you learn how to use a glue gun.
It's the
I
best.
would be the one that would get glue on my hands and get glued to the project, probably.
No, you would just get a blister and scream and carry
And then you'd
on.
be more careful next
Yeah,
time.
then you'd be more careful next time and carry on and do it again, and it happens.
That's true. That's true.
It's a hazard of the trade, you know, just like if you're a guitarist, you have calluses. Just like being an artist with a hot glue gun, it's the same thing. Okay, so I'm trying to sew on my eye and I'm stuck because the yarn is thick and chunky.
I feel like the messier of a sewer you are, the more character it has, the more.
Yes, the sloppier it is. I
Yes.
actually
Yeah.
said that to Mom. The one that I sewed right side out with all the seam allowance on the outside looked way more cool than the other ones with the hidden seam allowance because it looked more raw, you know, and I like that about it. And I like that eventually if it's used and abused enough, the seam allowance will fray and it'll shred and it'll look even better when it looks like that.
Yeah, you don't want them too perfect.
No,
No, I think you want them to have character.
yes.
And the more
Absolutely.
character they have, I feel like the more powerful they are.
Definitely,
That's right.
definitely. Okay, I got my eyeball down. Why is this making me struggle?
Some of your conversations about the fabric and all have really
Uh-huh.
made me think about, how kids are so sensory. Like what I'm using today is just felt because that's what I had in my house.
Right?
But like if you had access to a lot of fabric samples or something,
Uh-huh.
like they could pick something that was comforting
To
to
them.
them.
Yes, exactly. See, that's the other thing about ordering pre-printed fabric is not everybody has the same taste that you do. You know, the kids like their own thing, and maybe that's why I went with also having them make it themselves so they could pick their own color schemes and all of that. Make them happier. I feel like the more choice and options you give them, they have more ownership over what they're doing.
Yeah.
Plus, this is way cheaper. I have all the stuff at school. I don't have to worry about ordering anything.
You don't have to order anything after I go to my storage place, because I'm going to bring back one of these days all of my fabric.
Buckets and buckets of fabric.
It's turkey and cheese.
Okay.
Who's that?
It was a mister
Yeah.
Sorry, that was my husband.
bringing dinner. What are we having, Carolyn? Turkey and cheese, he said?
And he wasn't cooking my dinner when I thought it would be cooked. So now I'm just eating turkey and cheese rolled up. I've been a grumpy wife with I tried to eat what they were eating, but I didn't like it either.
This is one of your.
But tomorrow I'm making gumbo. I don't know if you've seen my Facebook
Making
post.
what?
Gumbo.
Oh, gumbo.
Gumbo. I don't know if you've seen my Facebook post, but here in Central Texas, we had an ice storm. This is now the 4th day in a row of no school.
I've been watching you make the Lego,
Yes.
and I got
I've been
all
able to do all these
excited.
things
Yeah.
because we only had school this week on Monday.
On Monday.
And the thing, what's keeping it down today is there are, like, we're fine where we live, but there's so many houses and even some schools without power because of the ice on the power lines and blowing
Really?
transformers. Yeah,
Oh,
like you can
wow.
drive on the roads now, it's fine because it's above freezing, but it's all the ice that weighted down trees and made trees come crashing down on power lines and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
It ends at 8. I mean, I can go upstairs so you can watch it. It's fine.
Honey,
It's
I
just
can't
really-
believe, and this is Texas, that
Yes.
you had all this happen. That's amazing.
Yep, this is what happens in Texas.
That's-
It's been getting more dramatic every year.
Wow.
Where does Seth live, Steffi? Is
What?
he in, Seth, is he in Austin?
I think so. My cousin lives in Texas.
Well, if it's in Austin, that's what's happening right now, because I'm
Wow.
northwest of Austin, like 30 miles.
Wow.
Maybe we should text and see if they're okay.
Yeah, literally, I have friends that they haven't had power since yesterday morning at 4 a.m.
Mm.
Wow.
To lose power when it's frigid and you're not used to that kind of thing, that's not a good thing
Well,
at all. And in New York, we're in 50-degree weather in February, which is nuts, completely nutso. And
We
they're
haven't
telling us, I heard the weather earlier, it's gonna be like 2 degrees tomorrow. Frigid, it's gonna be frigid for the next 2 days.
Yeah, but that's what I believe.
And then it'll be 50 degrees again on Monday.
Well,
And we have
Sunday here
some
is supposed to be 70. It's gonna be 70 on Sunday. So
Oh,
for
God.
3 days, it's been 28 degrees. Today it got up to, it's at 36 right now.
We're at negative 30 and have a 2-hour delay tomorrow
Where are you?
in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Oh, wow.
negative 30. Oh, gosh.
With
Ooh,
wind chill
I couldn't live there.
She's in Minneapolis, and she said they've got a negative 30 in the morning, so they have a 2-hour delay.
Wow.
Cow.
That northern Minnesota is always cold. It's like.
Can you even breathe in that? Boy,
Isn't that where your eyelashes get like all frozen and frosty?
This is-
Minus 30?
If you go out with wet hair or wet eyelashes, yes, you would be. Yeah, it's, so we have a 2-hour delay until it kind of warms up a little, just to let the buses kind of warm so that we can hopefully get closer to 0 and then we can actually function.
Hmm.
Yeah, the same thing up here in central New York, near Syracuse. Negative
You're at
20, I
0
think,
with
tomorrow.
delays?
We don't have a delay because I work in a school where the kids go house to house, but the Syracuse city schools are going to be on a delay, I believe.
Huh. That's unbelievable. This is, the weather has been really insane.
and we haven't had snow in how many days?
Well, we had a snow, I went out yesterday morning and there was like, everything was frosted with snow, just a dusting.
Oh,
But
that's all it was.
that's all we got. That was it.
And nothing before that. We haven't had snow in it since last year, I think.
Nothing substantial.
No.
Okay, note to self, this chenille yarn is not fantastic. It's challenging to pull it through the fabric. It looks good, but it's difficult to work with.
What did you use on your other ones for your eye? Did you use the,
I use regular yarn, just normal yarn, but I have this ginormous ball and it's fuzzy. It's like chenille.
so it's like number 6 or number 7 thickness?
It'll
I
look
think.
good. It'll look like it'll be good for hair. And I thought it would show up really well on this loud pattern that I have. But it's hard getting it through the fabric. So I'm struggling a little bit. So if you guys can see me like yanking on it. Is everybody working as we're talking? I'm curious.
I am.
I am.
Yay.
What kind of needle do you have that has a big enough eye and will go through the fabric?
It's a tapestry, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's really big. Hi, Zoe. She sees yarn and is going crazy. Yeah, it's got a really big needle. It's kind of the tapestry needle that I give the kids because they all have problems threading needles.
Here's the kind of needle.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
Yeah.
You see it in the
But
blur?
when you're when they're sewing, that's needle is okay for when you're sewing like the face and the details on. But I would not use that size chunky needle when if you're doing the back stitch, sewing it inside out the
Oh,
whole body, because it makes big holes.
okay.
Yeah. So you have to be
I've never learned when I'm looking at needles, like it says size 18, like I'm always looking for the big eyes that I can see.
right.
And
right.
is the 18 the size of the needle or the eye or what?
I don't know what the numbers are. I gauge it more by the size of the eye. And if that's gonna fit the yarn that I want the kids to use or the thread. And if it's pointy, you don't want a dull point on it because then it won't go through the fabric either. So.
Yeah, because I ordered some tapestry needles
Yeah.
and they couldn't sew with them. I usually get embroidery needles, but the eyes are not as big.
Yeah, tapestry is good for like bigger stuff. You know what I use tapestry needles for? Weaving and the basket making around the coil, you know,
Oh.
the coil baskets. That's what I use, the big chunky tapestry needles that aren't pointy. But anything that you're actually sewing into, you need a point that's going to go through the fabric. It also,
Yeah.
if it doesn't have a point on it, it's hard to even get it through felt because depending on how compressed the felt sheets are, sometimes you can't get the needle through the felt. So you need a point on it, a real sharp point.
Yeah, I use the plastic ones with my first graders in burlap. They
Yeah.
sew in burlap, so they'll be used to it by the time they get older a little bit.
Right, exactly.
I just wanted to say thank you. I am zooming in from Delaware.
Oh,
And
welcome.
I saw this online and I'm an art therapist. So
Uh-huh.
I worked in schools as an art therapist. I just retired, but I'm doing some workshops and I thought, oh, I'm going to get some more information. So I really appreciate, I have to jump off, but I really appreciate your help with this. I started my little guy.
Oh, look how cute with patches too. You did the patches.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
great.
mine is grief because I lost my dad recently and my mom. So
Oh, I'm so
that's
sorry.
that's the car. My dad sold cars, and then there's a ladybug for my mom. So
Oh, that's wonderful. I
but
like
anyway, I
that
wanted to thank
idea
you guys.
also.
Thank you for letting me jump in. And I agree with whoever said that the messier the stitches are, the better it looks. So which is good
Feel
for
free
me.
to join us at any time. If you're on my mailing list, or if you want to email me your email me with your email, and I can
Okay.
add you to our mailing list and keep you in the loop.
I appreciate that. I really do. Have a great night, you guys.
You too. Thanks for
Bye-bye.
joining.
You guys were talking about the needles and like the eyes, and do you use the folded piece of paper to thread your needles ever? You know
Oh,
that?
piece of paper?
Yeah. So if you look up, I don't know if you guys.
Yeah,
can
that's
see
what
it.
I'm doing.
So
Here,
there's-
let me, you know what? Let me pin you so I can
Okay.
see everybody. Remove spotlight. There you go. Okay, you can do a demo now for us. Let's see.
So I have my, let's see if I can get it in here now. There we go.
Yeah,
My tiny little piece of paper, and
right.
it's just a folded little itty bitty piece of paper. Let me get it back up here. Tiny piece of paper. It
Uh-huh.
just fold it in half. You put the thread in almost like I tell my little kids, you put the hot dog in the bun. And then you kind of pinch the end. So you're pinching the paper, and then that way when you thread it through the eye of the needle, let's see if I can get it on there. There we go. The
That's
paper
a
goes
neat trick.
through, it pulls
That
that
is
through,
very
and you don't fray your end of your
Oh,
yarn.
look at that.
So that's a good way if you're using, like I'm using a embroidery needle right now, so it's really pointy and long and it's got a smaller eye, but I want to use thicker yarn. So then that way by squishing it into that little piece of paper, you can push that thicker yarn through the eye of the needle.
Thank you. I learned somewhere also, it might have been through this group, I can't remember, that if you take a little bit of glue stick and put it on the end of a frayed yarn, that will also help get it through the eye. Oh, this yarn is driving me absolutely crazy. Well, it's, you know what? It's a learning experience. It's all experimentation. You try, and if it doesn't work, you try something else.
I almost wonder if you could trace the doll first and put it on your embroidery hoop, and it might hold still for those students.
Possibly. Possibly.
or I'm just used to a hoop.
I've never used a hoop except for embroidery. Oh, this is making me crazy right now. Actually, I started an embroidery project this week with my art. I started a stitch club this week for the first time, which I'm really excited about. And we're doing an embroidery project, so we're all getting used to the hoops.
I'm
After
embroid-
school?
I'm embroidering right now with my upper level art kids too. We just started this past week too.
I love it. And I found another woman on that same Slow Stitch Club posted an embroidery project that she does where she actually stitches around the hoop frame. They're around the hoop, so there's no hoop showing at all. It becomes part of the artwork itself, which I found.
This is the beginning of mine right now that I'm working
Oh,
on
I
with my
love
kids.
it. And you're beading as you're
I like
going
that.
too with the.
I have
sequins
I
and
have sequins on right now with little French knots, and then I actually the yellow dots are needle felted, and then there's all different stitching and applique, and there's a whole modge podge of things going on one
That
point.
is so
one thing.
cool. So do you, when you do that, are you requiring them to have a certain number of stitches?
Nope, no requirements right now.
Requirements?
We're doing, I had them do practice stitches, so they have to show me they can do certain stitches. So we did like running stitch, a back stitch, satin stitch,
Mhm.
a French knot. I had them try a couple different ones, like running stitch that has laced or whipped around it. So they've learned a couple different things, so they combine a couple stitches.
Right.
And then once they've done that, we learned about a few different artists, and then we have a local artist who does some embroidery. So I had her come in and talk about her work, and now we've just started. So they know they have all these different options, and their pieces are kind of up to them now to see what they can create.
Very cool.
Partway through, they are going to be switching hoops with somebody from a different class and having to do a little embroidery on a different one, and then they're going to get theirs back. So part of it has been learning how learning how to kind of let go too, so that they're so tight with their work all the time, like learning how to let go and then learning how to problem solve and collaborate. And yeah, so it's
like
kind of
that.
interesting.
I like that.
Yeah, in the ending, they'll get their work back. So we just did a abstract expressionist piece that was similar, where they got to like draw a little bit on each other's work.
Mhm.
But then in the ending, they know they get their own hoop back. So if there's something that they dislike, they can always applique over it or whatever else. So they know there's ways that they can change it. They just have to get creative with their problem solving at that point then.
That's
I love that.
kids struggle with is
Yeah.
problem solving.
Yes.
They're
big time.
What grade is that,
doesn't
Kelly?
go right away. They're all like, I quit. I can't do this, or tell me how to fix it, or help me, or do it for me. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, these are my high school, these are my upper level high school kids. So
Okay.
they're anywhere from 10th to 12th grade.
Right.
So, yeah.
I guess these are the ones for me who are like thinking is too much for them. I can't believe that.
Oh yeah, my little kids in elementary would completely go for it. They would be like so excited to draw on each other's work.
Yeah, they have no inhibitions at that age. It's like,
Right.
whatever, sure, why not? And
Mhm.
then the self-consciousness pops in, and the insecurity pops in, and
Yeah.
you know, the whole
Well, I have like,
different-
it's weird because I have a range. Like I have some kids who are okay with it. I have one girl who is like freaked out that somebody else will touch her work and ruin it. And then I have other kids who are afraid if they touch somebody else's art, they'll ruin it.
Oh my gosh.
So they're kind of all over the place.
I wonder if it'd be interesting to do a lesson for the kids who are so like, don't touch my stuff. To show them about the monks who do the mandalas in sand and spend months and months and months and months with tweezers. And I mean, it's like intricacy beyond. And then at the end, it gets blown away and it's gone. And there's nothing left. And, you know, that's part of appreciating that nothing lasts and change is permanent.
Yeah, and I've had them do things like that with Andy Goldsworthy's work too.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to go and do outdoor work too. That's gonna blow away leaf work and things like that. But this one is just kind of fun, like I said, because they just have to learn like, okay, there was a mark made that I don't like. Now what? Like, how do I fix it?
Right. Oh, there are like 6 messages. Let me see. Oh, Gladys left. Oh, Ariane, is Ariane still here?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Do you need the template still?
Yes, I'm not doing it right now, so if you can send it to me, it could be for later.
Sure, I'm so sorry. I just saw your message.
Oh, it's okay, no problem.
Ariane dot Elsa at Gmail. Okay. And attach the template. Let me know. I just sent it. Oh, wait. Ariane.elsa.
Yeah, at gmail.com.
Gmail.com. Oh, I forgot the .com part there. Okay, let me know if you get it.
Okay, I'm just gonna check.
Okay, and let's see what else I missed. Squishmallows. My kid has a ton of them. What's a squishmallow? Oh, yes, that's the squishy little things that look like animals or cats or damn it dolls. Oh, those are awesome.
So I got the template. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Who's KMW1960? I guess I
It's
have.
me,
Did you?
Kathleen McWilliams.
Hi, are you still waiting for it? I'm so
Y-
sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, let's see. KMW 1960 at Gmail.
That's what I mean. I feel like it's. I'm done.
Okay. Oops. The thing that takes the longest is actually sewing it together. Once we're done. Okay. Let me know if you got it. I just sent it to you as well. Okay, let me see if I missed anybody else.
I had a principal who bought a bunch of Damn It dolls and stuck them in our staff lounge one time. That was pretty fun.
Oh, I love that. Damn it. See, we can't even say, we probably get yelled at for saying damn it, for calling it damn it now. Everybody's so sensitive at school about things you say. Okay, B.S. Smith. Smith 2.
Steph, do you remember how long it took me to sew mine together on Sunday?
Couple of hours.
Yeah, well, I just finished sewing the denim one. I
Yeah.
started it at the beginning of the session and I'm turning it inside out now.
Okay.
So I think the fabric I had, even though it was cotton, was very tight weave and my needle was too big. And the denim went so fast with a smaller
Yeah,
needle.
denim is easy to sew. You
It
gotta
is.
be careful about the fabric that you use because some of it is if it's like polyester, it's not gonna go very well. VBS CHOLS.com plus I think there was another one. So I have Brittany, I have Anne. I sent it to Ariane and I sent it to Kathleen. Okay, so it's just Anne and Brittany. Okay. Sent to you guys. And obviously you guys are free to adjust the template and make it your own if you don't like the shape or whatever. Let me know, ladies, when you get it. I just sent it to both of you. Okay. Right. Yeah, I'm not going to use this chenille for anything other than the hair after this. This is just too much. So I put the face on. And I think let's see. So here's my face. I don't know if you can see it. And there we go. And that it's nice and fluffy and it stands out because the pattern is so loud.
It's hard to see. It's dark.
You can't see
Can you
that?
can you get more light on it?
No, I have all the light I have. But here, you see it?
Oh, that's better.
I love that button.
Hello. Hello.
All right.
I have to go buy some more buttons. My button collection is not the best.
So I'm going to now actually pin it together inside out. And then I'm gonna sew it. I can't believe it's 10 after 8 already. How did that happen?
Yep. When you're having fun.
Steph, I did not, Kathleen, this is Kathleen. I didn't get the email.
You didn't.
No, I just looked in my spam too.
Hold on, let me make sure I got the email correct. KMW9, oh, at mail, that's what I did wrong. I think I put at Gmail. KMW 1960. Yeah, that's what I did at Gmail instead of just at mail. At mail.com. Okay, round 2. Let me know if it comes.
Okay.
I think I got this chenille yarn on sale at Michael's and I looked at it and I'm like, that would be perfect for either weaving or puppet hair. That's why I bought it.
It definitely has cool texture.
Yes. Completely cool texture. It's nice and soft and fuzzy. I love it.
Hey, Steph, this is Ann. Can you try again? I didn't get the template.
Oh, I messed yours up too?
I don't know.
Oh boy. Okay, let's find your address one more time. Hold on. AN. Oh, I think I did ANN. AN Baker. Baker. And PB Schools.
So did you say you sew the hair on after you sew the whole thing?
Yes, because
Okay.
you put the hair on, at least for me, I close up the head after it's stuffed. So after I stuff it, then you can hide that seam with the hair. Did that make sense?
Yes.
So I've done my eyes and mouth, so now I'm ready to sew the whole thing.
Okay, are
Right.
you doing it right side out or inside?
I don't know.
Do you want a challenge or do you want instant results?
Well,
There's
I
no-
might
there's no
think about
wrong
it like
answer.
my elementary age students are probably gonna have to do it right side out. Yeah,
Okay, so try it that way.
okay,
So you would put it inside, facing inside, so that your fabric is right side out and pin it. to-
okay.
And then you can just do, you can do the running stitch for that, if you want.
Okay,
It's a nicer look to do the running stitch. If it's showing on the outside, then the back stitch wouldn't look as nice.
A whip stitch might be kind of fun around the edges with little kids too.
The whip stitch would work if they were close together. What I'm worried about is the stuffing coming through between the whip stitches.
Right.
Tendency to space them out, and then the stuffing would come right out.
leaking.
And did you get it?
Let me check.
Okay.
And let me ask the group if anyone else is elementary. Like my kids, my fifth graders and my fourth graders have sewn a lot over the past couple of years, and I've never pinned it together for them. Like I'm worried about giving that many pins to elementary kids.
I've run like a quick bead of hot glue on there sometimes so that it's already kind of together, but I've run it just about basically if you're doing your right sides out right now, like about a 1/4 inch in, I've run like basically your seam allowance with hot glue, and then they can do the stitch, and that way they can do whatever stitch and it's already technically kind of together. So
Okay.
that kind of works instead of pins as well for little ones.
Okay.
And I've done it with 5th grade where we sewed pillows, and we never pin them. They just hold them.
Yeah,
It was
that's
in
what
a
mine have always
rectangle.
done.
And they stay in the right place?
But
Yeah, it always,
Because this is kind of small, so I would worry that it would shift. That's all.
that they went running out.
yeah.
I mean, in a pinch, I have also used, believe it or not, staples.
Oh, that would work.
Yeah, you could just staple it at like the ends of the arms and the feet. And
Huh, okay.
and then you can go in and pull the staples out later. That would work also. Welcome everybody who just came in. We've just been going over techniques and how-tos, and if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to catch you up.
Steph, it's Kathleen. I didn't get the email.
Still?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try this again.
Steph, I didn't either. I just sent you my Hotmail, so it might be different.
Let's try this. Kathleen, why don't you say your email out loud?
Okay. K
Okay.
M
M
W
W
19
1960
at
at mail.
Gmail.
Oh, it is Gmail because you typed mail.
Oh, Gmail. Sorry. Well, that would help.
Gmail.com. KMW 1960 at gmail.com.
That's me.
Okay. And Anne, you wanna
AN
AN
BAKER
BAKER
at
at
VB
the schools.
CHOOLS
VB what?
VB schools.
Plural, right? SCHOOLS.
His wife.
.com.
They're in my office.
vbschoolsplural.com.
It won't go very far because
Correct.
I've got dust all over.
I sent it to that like 3 times. That's
Okay.
coming up. Yeah, I don't know why it's not going to you. Did anybody else not get it? Okay. All right, let's try this one time. So Kathleen and Ann, just going now.
Me, B Smith 2. Sorry, having a hard time getting. I'm on my phone.
I have a
Come on.
delivery status failure. Oh my God.
Oh no. Good gracious. I'm trying to hit the chat so I could.
I don't know why. Okay. So who got it? Ann got it?
I got it.
Kathleen got it. Okay. Ann, do you want to?
No,
No?
I did not.
Oh my God.
And it's crazy because I got Zoom link and everything.
That's weird. Are we friends on Facebook?
No, but what you could do, I sent you my Hotmail. You can
emailed
try
it
it.
to me?
Yeah,
Okay, let me see. Let me check my mail.
in the message I sent it,
Oh, in the message. Let me see.
in the chat, sorry.
Got it. Got it. Oh, Brittany, you needed to. Okay. All right. So let's try this again.
Oh, you're so sweet, thanks.
Technical difficulties. It's always, when you need it most.
Always.
A-N-N-E Baker, B-A-K-E-R, 83. Sorry to put your email on blast for everybody. Hotmail.com and Baker83@hotmail.com. Okay. And B Smith 2. B Smith 2. Oops. At hotmail.com. Okay. And B Smith 2 at SAISD.net. Okay, B Smith 2 at SAISD.net. Correct? Try this again. And if this doesn't work, friend me on Facebook and I'll send it through a chat. Okay. All right. It is in process.
Thanks.
You got it? Awesome. So Ann is good. Ann got it?
I'm second now.
Okay. And did Brittany get it?
I'm on my phone, but I'll check. I'm trying to figure out how to check phone and Zoom.
Okay.
Forgot my laptop that's dead. I was like, dang it.
If it doesn't come, just email me or message me after and I'll
Steph,
send
I got it, Sam.
Oh, yay. Okay.
Yay, thanks.
Yay. So now everybody's happy. Okay.
Hazel, don't eat that. Don't be a dummy.
All right. Yay, I get to sew it together. Zozo, you're being a nosy body today. All right, I'm going to switch off my document camera. Here. So before we go, I want to see everybody's little dudes. I don't even know what to, everybody has a different name for it. Oh, look at that bag of stuff. Emily, oh my gosh, is that wool?
Oh, it's a bunch of different yarns. But some of it's really thick.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
nice
you can-
funky weaving stuff, right? I love
Yeah,
that.
I use it a lot for weaving.
That's great.
I find a lot of it at the thrift stores, you know.
Mm-hmm. When I go to Michael's, I go right to the clearance section.
Yeah.
And they
yeah.
always have the chunky stuff that nobody wants.
Yeah,
And I grab all of that stuff for
I thought the
weaving.
chunky stuff would be good for the hair.
Yep, exactly. I buy the chunky stuff when I do my puppet units at school. The chunky
Oh.
stuff is great for the hair and doing dreads on the puppets.
Oh, yeah.
Kids love it. So next week I have dot painting, which is very reminiscent of Australian Aboriginal art. And it's being taught by a friend of mine from Virginia, from the Virginia Art Educators Association. And her stuff was really, really cool looking. So I'll be sending that flyer out this weekend for next week.
Is it Holly again or someone else?
No, not Holly, it's Julie.
Okay.
Julie Cacciola. She also runs the artist trading card club that
Oh,
through there that I'm part of. Yeah. I love meeting all these people through this club. It's fantastic. Although I met Julie when I did a summer PD in Washington DC a few years ago, and we've been friends ever since. She's a great person. Meet so many really cool people through this stuff. That's why all these little, side clubs and things are important for us art teachers, because very few other people where we work get it and get us and speak our language.
Mhm.
It's a very lonely kind of thing.
Yep.
Especially if you're the only arts person in your whole building.
That would be me.
Yeah, me too. This is my 20th year of being lonely.
27.
Oh my
But you had me.
But I met you at the New York State Art Teachers Conference.
Yes, you and your friend, what was her name?
I think I was with Cynthia.
Could be Cynthia. Yes. I met so many cool people when I taught when I did the workshops in Binghamton.
Yes,
And
that's
then
where I met you.
also just and then participating in the NAEA ones in Manhattan when I was there. And then you start running into the same faces, at all of them, and it becomes like this reunion kind of a thing, which is really cool.
Yeah, I'm doing a presentation on Monday to our local art group, art teachers.
What are you doing?
I am doing, I call them the Joy of Life sculptures. They're inspired by Red Grooms, but the kids
I
pick,
love Red Grooms.
the
Nobody
kids
knows
pick an,
Red Grooms. I mean, that's like such a, oh my God.
yeah, no one does. It's true. But I
Yeah.
show them a bunch of other people too, Degas, and people who show stuff that people get joy out of, dancing. And so then the kids make a list of things that bring them joy, and I have them pick something active, but they pick everything from working on their farm with a cow to playing with their dog to zip lining. And then they have to create a sculpture on a canvas with an aluminum foil person, and they just go to it. We got amazing stuff this year. There was an ice skater. There was a bungee jumper.
Uh-huh.
A kid doing lumberjacking with his dad. Was very cool.
You know what I'm gonna say next, right?
No,
That she's
this is my
presenting
first
in
one.
March.
I'm gonna recruit you to do a session for us here. Can you send me pictures of your projects?
I can't.
I want to do it. I want to learn about it.
Would you be interested in doing one of our sessions with that project?
Probably. Let me see how Monday goes.
Okay. Yeah, do that as
yeah.
a trial run. And then let me know. I'd love to see pictures of the projects. That would be very cool.
Yes, I got your I got the pattern, so I have your email. So
Okay.
I should be able to do that.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. This is the guy. Yes. Oh, too close.
I don't want to hang up. It's 8:30 and I don't want to hang up. Are you guys having fun? Yes.
Yes.
I wish we were on long enough to finish these, but it takes much longer than an hour and a half. You're gonna have to send
How
me
long is it?
pictures.
Yeah, how long is it going to take your students? Like how many classes to do this?
Oh my God, I have no idea. I've never done it before. I figured I'm giving them till tomorrow to do this practice stitches. And then as long as I get all the tablecloths and liners and everything, I'm gonna have them paint the fabric on Monday. And I only have 43.5 minutes. So assume half an hour per class. So they'll get at least one coat on the fabric down, and I have to figure out how I'm going to dry it when I have 3 classes in a row and I have to clean them, the tables up between classes. Once the fabric is done and dry, it's just a question of, tracing the patterns and cutting them out and then doing a bit of sewing. So I was hoping to get this done before our February break, which starts the 20th.
Mhm.
It's a remote possibility that they'll be able to do that. Let me see, what's the 20th? So we are at the 2nd. So they have 2 weeks. I think they'll be able to finish it by the 17th. I will let you know how it goes.
I'm curious. Yeah. I've never tried sewing with yarn before. That's really interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting in terms of how it behaves with
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You just need it, depending on the fabric you're using, you kind of need a chunkier thread for the facial features or they won't stand out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wouldn't use yarn necessarily to sew the seams unless you're doing like the younger kids, kindergartners, or well, I don't know that kindergartners could do this, but like I said, trial and error. But I will let you guys know how it goes. Like I said, I'm high school, but my kids are not high skilled and they don't have art experience. And everything is, I can't, or could you? And so we'll see. I will let you know. I thought I was being realistic when I said I want it done before February break. So we'll see.
I'm sorry, I came in late. Do you have the instructions for the whole thing outlined somewhere?
No. This is the first time I'm ever doing it. And this is recorded, by the way, and I'll be posting the recording by the weekend so you could rewatch the video. Welcome, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
Did you get the template?
Yeah, and I have fabric, but I heard you talking about painting it and I didn't paint mine. I just started sewing it together.
No. We're using fabric that's already, printed. I had tried because I can't afford to buy fabric for all of my kids. and I had tons and tons of muslin already in my closet at school.
Oh, I
So
see. Okay.
I thought, well, let the kids paint their own fabric. So that it can be even more personal. And then make their doll out of the fabric that they paint. So that's what I was mentioning earlier. It's an option, you know. Our teachers, you got to come up with lots of different options for all the kids and your own financial situations, you know, in the classroom. So I figured, let me try that and see how it goes. And this whole project is a first time thing. So we were just talking about, you know, someone asked me what my time frame was, and I said, we're going out on midwinter break on the 17th. And I told the kids I wanted it done before vacation. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I started teaching them the stitches this week. So they're doing practice stitches before we paint the fabric next week. And then we'll see.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
So I think at the beginning,
If you have any other questions, feel free to ask or email me. You know, I'm happy to help, whatever it is.
so I think at the beginning you were talking about, you know, you were doing the practice stitching because you were waiting to get the fabric colored and all. Do you think practice stitching is necessary? What do y'all
Well,
think?
I was waiting for the tablecloths.
Yeah,
and
so
the
that's
aprons,
why.
because I thought I
mean,
had
waiting.
aprons, and I can't give watered down acrylic to kids without aprons, because then I'll be getting phone calls from parents like, what did you do to the clothes? Like, why? So before I do any sewing project, I teach the stitching, because
Okay.
you know, they're very specific stitches and they should know how to do it, because I don't want them to create this fabric that they love and then they can't do the stitching and it comes out crappy and then they're heartbroken and then they want to throw it out because it doesn't look right.
Okay.
So you always want to teach the stitches before on a piece of crappy scrap muslin or fabric. I gave them pieces of felt to sew with, and wool, as a matter of fact, just to get them used to the movement and the way the stitches work. And when they're comfortable with that, then they get the fabric, because, you know, whether you buy the fabric or they make the fabric, it's a waste if they screw it up, you know. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't have money to throw in the garbage. I just don't. And it kind of irritates me when they screw things up because they don't follow instructions and all that material is garbage. So yeah, I try to cover that base and get ahead of any oopses and oh my gods, you know, before it happens. I got the tablecloths today in the mail. They came, and I think the aprons were delivered to my school this afternoon. So I will have everything for next week. I just have to figure out the logistics of, once each class finishes, where is their wet work going to go with 5 minutes between classes to set up for the next one. That's what I have to figure out. That's going to be very interesting.
Hang up a clothesline.
Yeah, I have a clothesline, but then if stuff drips, and it's near the kids' seats, they're either going to get dripped on or it's going to drip all over the floor. And then I have to put down some kind of tarp on the floor and move the tables to keep the kids away from the clothesline.
Good luck.
It's a logistical, you guys know what I'm talking about. Everything you do, you have to consider traffic flow and movement around the room, and I don't want them to wear an apron on the front and then back into somebody's wet work and get, you know, acrylic paint all over their backside. So it's just, yeah.
Do you have any cafeteria trays? You could stack a couple on them and then go the cafeteria tray the opposite way, which will keep it high and just keeps, and then.
I don't have surface area available to stack anything at the moment. Like every spare surface in my classroom has crap on it. See that? This is funny. I mentioned earlier that I moved over Christmas break. So in the move, I had to get rid of stuff. And you know, again, our teachers, we hate getting rid of things. So to get it out of my house and my new space, I brought it to my classroom. So I have crap piled now in my classroom that eventually I have to sort through and find homes for. And just all I did was, you know, bring it in there and drop it in a corner and say, I'll deal with it later. So I don't have, I'm digging out still everywhere I am. So it'll work out. You know, if the kids want to do cool things, they're going to have to cooperate, and we'll work it out. That's all. So that's where I'm at. You guys have to send me pictures of your finished dolls. Or post them, you know, on the Facebook site where you saw the flyer, so that we can all see stuff. I can't even show you mine because it's inside out, and I'm still.
What is the Facebook page?
Oh God, I am part. I think I belong to like 12 different art teacher Facebook pages.
Oh.
Yeah, and I post the flyers to all of them.
No,
So
no,
I
no.
can even tell you. It's definitely VAEA is one page. NICADA is another page. NISADA Region 8 is another one. New York City Art Teachers, DOE something something is another one. Then there's art teachers teaching remotely. I mean, there's so many that I'm part of, and I pretty much post the flyers to all of them. And I can't remember who sees me where, and you might even be on my mailing list. So
I'm on your mailing list. That's why I was wondering.
okay. So I have mailing list, and for people who are not on my mailing list, so they could see me anywhere. Yeah. And if you're part of enough groups on Facebook, you end up seeing the same people in the same groups as you. It's funny. That's networking. And I love when I see all these names, you know, online, and then you go to these conferences and you see the real people, not just the names on the screens or in the you know, in the Facebook pages. It's very, very fun to see the live person. It's like running into an old friend. Okay.
I finished.
You finished? I'm so
Yeah.
jealous. Let's see. Let's
Okay,
see.
let me
Can
turn on
I
the other
spotlight
camera.
you? I'm gonna spotlight you.
Okay.
Okay, let's see her. Oh my God, so cute. I love the hair. What's your word gonna be?
I don't know.
Oh, I love the rough edges. So you did
Yeah,
the
I'm not the best sewer.
you did the whip stitch, right? Around
I
the
don't
edge?
know what you call it. Around the edge?
Yeah, you went over the edge, right? That's the whip stitch. Yeah.
Okay,
That
now,
is
now
so
I learned
cute.
something.
I love it.
Oh, thanks for teaching me
Love it.
this.
You're welcome. So fun. Is anybody else close to Dawn or have one? We should do a screenshot with everybody holding up. Oh, look at those.
Ooh, I like the blue one.
Oh, everybody's working right side up. I love it. Red, very cute. Oh, and everybody's looks so different. I love it. See, mine's still inside out, and mom's is denim too. Yep, this is my inside out. I
I'm
love it.
working-
Thanks, you guys.
What do you use? What do you use to put the words on with? Is it a piece of fabric or?
This is felt. I cut
Oh,
with,
okay, okay.
with pinking shears, and I had been stitching the word over, I write it and then I stitch over it, but you could use just a Sharpie to write the word too. I love those letters. You stitch those letters, right, Christina? Very cute. I love it.
I'm not good at sewing either, but my son was actually this is his design. We made a big
Really?
one. Yeah, he was sitting next to me telling me like what he wanted in colors, and this apparently is a character on a game that drives him bonkers. So
Oh, I was wondering what red was. I love that. Very good choice. And I like the rainbow thread. That's awesome. Hi. Waving in the background. Nice design. Love it. I was actually thinking about giving the kids a bigger pattern, but I don't want to go too big.
I did I cut out both. So I did the 8 by
The
10.
8, and then
And
that's
this
what,
is
12?
this is 11 by 17 paper.
Oh, wow. Okay. It'll look smaller when you sew it and then squish
Yeah.
it and stuff it. Yeah. Oh, these are awesome. I'm so glad you had fun. Definitely. Even if it's for your own personal playtime or for in the classroom. This works both ways.
Personal.
I could actually, you know what? I could
playtime.
put, if I don't tell my students, I could put somebody's name on there that drives me crazy and then sit at home on the couch watching TV going, "Eh, eh." And then the next day, how'd you feel last night? So and so. Do you have any cramps or any sudden pain anywhere? That'll be interesting. All right.
You could
you
practice
guys,
talking to them.
yeah, right. All right, it's 8:46. I don't want to keep you. I still have to kind of go eat dinner. So thanks for joining. Look for the flyer this weekend for the next one. This will be posted this weekend. So anybody who wants to review anything, it will be there. I love it, Emily. I love it. Please post to share your pictures, email them to me of your finished critters, and have a wonderful weekend and stay warm.
Thank you. This was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to
Bye,
see you.
everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.